Good morning. It's Monday. It's November the 8th, and coming to you from my office. A lot of prayer went into place this morning. But first, let me ask you, if you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos, press the thumbs up. That gives me momentum, and share it with your friends. Today, we had an awesome prayer service. I did the Liturgy of the Word with distribution of Holy Communion at 6:30 a.m. And following that, the Knights of Columbus processed in with the Silver Rose. For those of you that don't know about the Silver Rose, it has its genesis in the miracle at Guadalupe, where the Blessed Mother appeared to Juan Diego. And I'm not going to get into the whole story. It takes a little time to develop, but in essence, she asked Juan Diego to have the bishop build a cathedral there, and the bishop was not convinced, and so a miracle happened with some roses and a toma and all this kind of stuff, and it's centered around roses. And so some young men in Mexico decided to kind of create a way to honor that whole Guadalupe situation by running and carrying a rose from one place to another. And over time it developed into this silver rose, where there's 8 silver roses, I think it's 8 or 9 silver roses in Canada and United States, and they pass them around from council to council, and they've developed a prayer service, which is to pray against killing innocent life in the womb. And the Silver Rose was delivered to our Knights of Columbus Council last night and this morning after the Liturgy of the Word distribution of communion. We had the prayer service with the Silver Rose, and it was just absolutely awesome. And it was phenomenal. And a little bit later, we're going to actually bring the Silver Rose to the school, the middle school, and the kids are going to gather in the gym, and we're going to have a little abbreviated version of the service for the kids, because the whole movement was started by teenagers in Mexico. So just a phenomenal day of prayer in our church life. What's going on in the world? I just wanted to share the reason I jumped on so quickly this morning was I had a couple of minutes free, and I said, let me see what's going on YouTube, and I hit the home channel, and all of the things that you kind of listen to popped up, and I clicked on one, and I'm not going to get into the details, but after 3 seconds it ended, and then another one popped up, and after 3 seconds it ended. And this went on. I watched about 8 of them, and this happened. And they were all intriguing stories that I was interested in, because they seemed to be factual, and yet they were all ended after 3 seconds. The only thing I can gather from this is that the channel, the server, has screened them and deleted them, but they're leaving the headline and the intro of it up. So this goes to censorship, and I don't want to get into it because they'll ban me from the channel, but I think that we all have to be aware of what's going on this day and age. There's a massive effort to not have a meaningful dialogue and exchange of ideas. There's an effort to only allow people to get one-sided. And I had an interesting conversation with a gentleman recently who comes to church here, and he said, we were talking. He says, "Man, I can't stand Trump. I hate Trump. He's bad for the country." I said, "Well, how is he bad for the country?" He just is. I said, "Well, what's the price of gas right now?" "Oh, it's high." I said, "Well, what was it when Trump was in?" "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Well, why do you think it's different?" "I don't know." I said, "Have you noticed that there's scarcity of things on the shelf. I went to Walmart this weekend to pick up a few things, and there was a guy stocking the shelves, and I said, "Man, you got the duty today, huh? You working?" And he said, "Yeah, we finally got some inventory in." I mean, he said that they had gone without being able to stock the shelves for weeks, and I asked my friend about it, and he said, "Well, I don't know anything about that." See, I think what's going on is there are a lot of people that have been given a dose of one-sided information without the facts, and they're not going after the facts, they're just accepting it. And I think that that's problematic in America, because we as Americans are known to be truth seekers, information seekers, and yet because of this refusal to have both sides of issues out there and to have meaningful dialogue about things, a lot of people only getting one side, and by only getting one side, they don't even know what they're against. They know, they say, "Oh, I'm against whatever," but they don't know why. They don't understand it. They haven't looked into it. I'll give you an example. The whole mandates about vaccination. I don't care what your side is. I don't care if you want to get vaccinated or not. But I do want to know about it. I want information. And it's hard to get information. Why? Because they're keeping it from you. And when I look at these videos on other forums, and I get links to studies, and I read the studies, and I actually go to get information, I'm not relying on it being synthesized by whoever's delivering it. I'm actually getting to the facts. And when you get to that, you realize that the information coming to us is not always the full picture. I'm not saying people are lying. I just don't think they're delivering the information. And that's a problem, because it takes time to go and read these studies. One guy was sending us to a study this weekend that I was looking at. He's a doctor, a medical doctor. He said it took him 2.5 hours to read the study and figure out what was in it. And so, you know, he said, if you are not like me and have to read every word, you can read through the summaries and look at the charts and the data, and you can get the idea of what the data is without spending 2.5 hours. But that's an indication that it takes an investment of our time to try to get to the information that gives us the truth on what's going on. So I encourage everybody to do your own research. Now, it's funny, because I heard the other day some politicians say the new buzzword for the radical right is do your own research. That's a racist comment. To get facts is racist? What does that tell you? That tells you they don't want you to know the facts. So anyway, I know this is a little bit off message, but I think people need to hear this. What I'm going to encourage everybody to do is, rather than just go to a news source and just listen to them tell you what they think the news is, whatever that story is, go to the underlying story. Go to the facts. You know, if you have to go to watch a Senate hearing and listen to what the senators are saying themselves, do that, rather than have Mary Lou, whoever, over on whatever numerical channel, tell you what they said. Go hear what they say, okay? And oftentimes you have to listen to both sides, because it wouldn't be fair if we just listen to the one side and not the other. We need to listen to both and see what they're saying, and then you can compare them. What happens is they don't want you to do that, because they want to load you up just on what one side is saying. So this is all problematic, but it is encouraging to us to go ahead and get information. And what I like to say is, look, if you're going to engage in some activity, before you engage in it, say a prayer. Ask God to come down and fill you with His Spirit so that you can engage the data with an open mind. And at that point, you can then be clear that what you're doing is an analysis with a clean heart rather than coming at it with one side or another. So I hope all of this makes a little sense, and it's just kind of a little reflection today. And I hope on this Monday that all of you know that Mondays are a great day. You start a new week, you get to start a new slate, and you get to begin anew. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day today, and I hope everybody has a wonderful week. And I'll hopefully jump on here again later in the week. God bless.